Sonya and Sasha, for real.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM, and this is the Sonya and Sasha for Real show. Welcome back to Friday. Is that how you say it? Friday.
Yeah, Friday's my favourite day. I look forward to this day because it's the only time I actually have some sort of socialisation because the rest of the time I'm locked in this house with my kids.
We get an hour and a half because we have a production meeting before to ourselves. Oh, it's absolute bliss. So we've got the most amazing show lined up for you today. I think we have a little theme going on here, Sash. Last week we had Brooklyn, DJ Big Brooklyn from Brooklyn, and we've got some more amazing people from Brooklyn today. We've
also got we've got these people that are in here today that are going to go like they're delving into the psychic world. They're going to be able to tell you things that you didn't even know about yourself, Sonya. Like this is like the awakening of the awakenings. This is the opportunity for us. Not only are we going to find out a little bit about ourselves and some stuff in the future, but our listeners are also, because we've got some live readings going on this show as well. I'm so pumped about that. That means people can join in right now and hear about what's going to happen.
So we've got Charlie from Charming Awakening, and we've got Candi, who's a medium. So she speaks to people who have crossed over to the other side. And we've got quite a stash up there. We've got a crew. We have a whole basketball team up there. So I'm sure they're just hanging out to send us some messages today. So I'm so excited. So we've also had a big week with lockdown. We're the hardest lockdown in the world now. I believe we've been in COVID
lockdown since 1974. That's how long we've been in lockdown. That's how long it feels like it anyway. And people are going mental out there. Like they're losing their mind. Did you know, Sonya?
Well, we're losing our minds. We're losing our minds on a daily basis because we're homeschooling, which you've heard a little bit about. I'll tell you a bit more in a second. But people are crazy, Sash. What's going on?
Well, this is what it is. Now, don't give my statistics much credit because I probably get them from Instagram, right? But I have read that 174,000 people have been calling the COVID line to dob on people. That is to dob on I don't know, is there another word for dobbing? Telling on
No, I don't think so.
Is there a universal word for dobbing?
That's the Aussie word anyway.
That is, for they're being a bit shady. If you think that somebody's being a bit shady, they're calling the hotline and telling on you.
And so, I know.
Yeah. And so you've even got some things that people have been dobbed on.
Well, I just love it because it's all such serious news that we're getting here. And every time that the purple ads come on the TV, everyone stresses out a little bit. And then you see Dan Andrews who jumps on the screen and tells us how naughty we've been overnight with our cases. And, unfortunately, we've lost lots of lives here in Victoria as well. So it's all very serious. But we have this crazy people who are getting fined for doing funny things, I think. So I want to tell you a few of them because I've collected them over. So when they report the serious news in the media, they also report the funny stuff, okay, which I love. And we gravitate towards whatever is funny. And as we told you on the show last week, you've got to laugh because that releases all kinds of great chemicals into your brain. And we all need it right now. So I want to tell you my top favourite ways that people have been busted doing the wrong thing for COVID. So
okay, tell us.
There was a lady, because we're not allowed to travel any more than 5 kilometres, which for our listeners in New York is about 2 miles-ish.
Yeah, it's not far. It's not far at all. You can walk further than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Further than that just to go to get some bread. So,
And there's police and army all over the place checking us out. So we get pulled over and you need to have a reasonable excuse as to why you're out. The only excuse is, as we all know, you can go to care for somebody, go to the doctor, get something, from the supermarket or go to the chemist basically, or go to the doctor. That's the only reasons you're allowed to be out. So these are my favorite ones. There was a lady who traveled more than 30 kilometers to get a yogurt. And when they pulled her over, she said, I was getting yogurt. And they said, why couldn't you go to your local yogurt shop? And she said, couldn't possibly, this one's way better. So I had to travel outside the 5Ks for a yogurt. No, haven't finished yet.
No, can I just ask, I actually want to know what that yogurt is. Because if it's worth travelling 30 Ks for, I've got nothing else to do. I mean, the minute they open up our 30-hour limit for us to drive, I'm going to be taking I want to know because it's potentially it's worth a $1,600 yogurt. So I want to know what this yogurt's like.
Well,
okay?
it must be damn good because it costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
that yogurt. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's frozen with some nuts on it. There was a man who breached his curfew because he didn't want to pay the Uber Eats charge. So he didn't want to sting for $5 for Uber Eats to deliver his food. He had to go out and say, it's $1,600 now, mate. Too bad. 2 people were busted for ordering enough KFC for 20 people. So when you let me just give you a little bit of public service announcement. If you're busted in KFC and they say, well, have you got enough food for 20 people? You say you're very hungry and you have a problem. You don't say because I've got 20 friends that I'm buying for. That's what you do, right?
Yeah, so hang on a minute. This was that they were actually telling people that they were having a party because I could potentially, I'm eating enough KFC for 20 people. Let me tell you now, I'm doing that on my own. That's how much eating I'm actually doing.
Wait, there's even better ones, Sasha. A Victorian couple drove to New South Wales to recycle cans. That was their excuse. I mean, how do you look a police officer in the face and say, oh, I'm recycling cans and that's why I need to get out of my $1,600 fine? A man breached his curfew and he was found on the streets and the police said, why are you out here? And he said, I'm out here to buy drugs. That's what he said to the police. I'm out here to buy drugs.
Well, didn't actually somebody get busted for putting their garbage bin out and they kind of just went for a little walk outside their garbage bin? Like they just went outside. Yeah, somebody's actually been told off for putting their bin out past lockdown time because also we have a lockdown time, so we can't be out past 8 o'clock as well. Do you actually find that at about 7:45 you start to get a little bit of anxiety and you think, if I need something right now, like I can't actually go out. I saw somebody post last night at I think it was like 8:45. Their son had lost their tooth and they didn't have any cash in the house, like nothing. They didn't have not even 20 cents. They didn't have enough. They couldn't go out and get any money for the tooth fairy.
Surely they're going to let you out for the tooth fairy.
Well, what do you do? What do you do? Do you actually say to the police, I've got to go to the ATM, that I've got to go get a bit of change? If not, my kid gets a 20 for the tooth fairy. Who knows?
I owe you for the tooth fairy.
I owe you for the tooth fairy. Or you'd be going through your house scrummaging for any cash that you've got. Like if you got that $1, that's all you're getting, kid. You got 5 cents.
Yeah,
or you potentially you could do another currency. You know how like every now and then you'll find that those, especially like when you go to Indonesia or something like that, you've got all those coins that are really worth like nothing. That's what the tooth fairy is giving right now. The leftover coins from another country, because that's all you got.
Yeah, my son's a multimillionaire. Whips out his Indonesian currency. And he's like, he's a big piece of baller all of a sudden. Yeah. This is my favorite though. And just before I tell you this, just that one that got caught on the street saying, I was here buying drugs. The very best call I've ever heard for 000. Triple O is like our 911, is like the States when you call
911.
A person called the police and they said, 911, what's your emergency, or 000, what's your emergency? And they said, my drug dealer has put up their prices on their drugs.
Oh, because they've got to get one
like
through
to
Candi
report
to deliver
them,
their
please.
stuff. Like, they want to get someone to come out and do that. I love that.
So upset they had to report it to the police. Anyway, this is locally COVID best bust of the week. Okay, you ready? The best bust. 3 people got so sick of COVID lockdown, they got themselves a blow-up boat. Okay, they went to Kmart, got themselves a blow-up dinghy, chucked it on a lake in Caroline Springs, and got smashed. Got out in the middle of the lake. And the cops had to row out and go get the 3 COVID busters.
And did they get fined as well?
All of them fined.
I tell you what, the police are making a whole lot of money on that. That's how we're actually paying all our bills, because it's kind of like it's siphoning. They're giving people JobKeeper, but then they're taking it off them because they're actually fining them. Realistically, one fine is one bit of money that you've got for your whole month.
Well, to me, I had a tooth episode. I had to go in. I was in a bit of pain. Had to drive into the city, break my 5-kilometre radius. But I had the appointment with the dentist. So I was all set.
Hang on, when you start talking about breaking your 5 kilometres, that's a bit of a dirty talk to me, don't you?
I was going clubbing. I was going clubbing to the endodontist.
Did you get dressed up? Did you get dressed up?
I had to put shoes on and normal pants that didn't
I've
stretch.
worn
Like
shoes
it
for so long.
was hard work. There's a lot of construction that goes on to put that in. Now, so I'm in the city, and of course we're in lockdown, so no one's allowed to be there. And there was a little slip over the parking meter saying out of order. So I thought, I'm going to park right in the front. I'm in a bit of pain. I need to head up to the dentist's office, and no one's allowed in the city. So we're in lockdown, and there's no parking inspectors. So I go up, get my tooth sorted out, come down, bang, fine, $165, $165 fine. So I thought, oh,
that's your JobKeeper. That's your JobKeeper. God,
surely not, right? Surely this couldn't happen. Wrote a letter into the council and said, listen, I was in pain. We're in lockdown. Thought I had a reasonable excuse. Letter comes back. Nah, bad luck. Got to pay your fine. I was like, oh, we're in a pandemic, people. Can't you understand that you cannot fine me $165 in a pandemic? This is ridiculous. Anyway, a day later, I get another email from that council with a survey saying, how did we do?
Hang on a second. They got back to you so quickly. In any other time, they at least take 28 days to get back to you. But when you have to pay them money, they get back to you straight away. The irony in all of all of that. Okay,
what do you think I'm going to say on that survey, Sasha?
I'm going to say that you were crapola and that was not right. Yeah.
1 star, would not recommend.
BRIMBANK Live FM, we have got another one of our New York pieces of gold that we're actually bringing back to everybody. And these are 2 people, not just one. We've got 2 today, 2 Brooklyns in the house are right here. And they're going to tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a psychic. And then they're going to do some live readings. BRIMBANK Live FM, Sonia and Sasha for real.
Thank you so much for listening to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. You're with the Sonia and Sasha for Real show, and we're so happy that you've joined us today on this beautiful Friday. That song, I need to tell you, was from a friend of mine who I met when I was doing a seminar. You know, sometimes Sasha and I are professional speakers and we go into schools and universities all the time, and there's just this one person who just shines out of the audience. And I was so drawn to this young person. They came up and chatted to me at the end, and they're a musician, and that's their song, Staying Away From You, which was dropped last night. And they have Peter Cara. So please go and follow Peter Cara. And thank you so much for sending in any fresh music, because we love to support new music on BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. This is going to be one of our favorite segments, I think, Sasha, coming up. And I'll let you please do the introductions. Ooh. It's a segment that we're introducing every week. We started last week with DJ Big Brooklyn, but this is our new segment called
New York Minute.
New York Minute. Sonia and Sasha. Yeah. All right. So we've got a couple of fantastic guests today. Who have we got, Sash?
Oh, okay. So we have got Candi and Charlie. Now, these guys, they're psychics. They're tarot readers. They are able to do your astrology. They will focus on everything about you. And do you know what, Sonia? We actually met them at an event while being in New York. And this is like, you know, when people talk about, oh, I saw this psychic and I saw this one and da-da-da-da-da, and I don't know if they gave anything accurate. Well, let me tell you, this is, when we say for real, this is for real, because we were at an event and Charlie, she just came up to me and we just started chatting. Within a couple of minutes, poured out my life to me. And in that moment, changed my life, because we just connected, started telling me all these things. It wasn't, you know, people will say, oh, you know, how much did they charge? This was nothing like that. Charlie just poured out all of this information to me. And I think that within minutes, like I was crying, we connected. She told me all of this stuff. And then I just said, we're actually going home tomorrow. How do we stay in touch? We've been staying in touch on social media. Every time we've been back to New York, we hang out with these 2 ladies. They've become our friends. And we just love them, and they are psychics and astrologists and mediums. Can we please welcome Charlie and Candi? Woo!
Hey, what's up?
The coolest psychics around. But you guys, firstly, can everyone please make sure that they follow these guys on social media, King Charming and Dolled Up Candi, because really you guys are constantly doing readings all the time for people. Can you just please tell us, how did you even know you had this gift?
Well, it started basically when I was like about 15, where I was like using playing cards, where I really knew that people were kind of telling me with the playing cards, because I would start letting them know, like, hey, this and this and this is going to happen out of nowhere. And they would be like, a week later or a couple of days later, like, hey, this has happened. When I was 11, I knew with my family, but it didn't fully kind of like hit me till I was about 15. And then I really didn't do anything with it, because I started going down a different path. And then as I got older, somebody was like, hey, you know, I think you're really good at this. you know, you use just regular playing cards. Have you ever had tarot cards? And I said, no, not really. And then they gifted me tarot cards. And from there, I had gone to someone who was a really good friend of mine and family member. Her name was Titi Lisa. God rest her soul. She helped, you know, develop me a little bit more so I can understand. And then from there, it's all history. By the time, you know, 3 years ago happened, I hurt my arm. I couldn't work. I grabbed the cards, I grabbed my phone, and the rest is history.
So you're actually...
For people who don't know how a psychic operates or how a psychic works, can you explain what happens when you do a reading, Charlie? Can you tell us, like, do you get voices? Do you see things? Do you hear? Do you feel things? Like, there's lots of... How does a psychic operate so that people know?
Well, I'm a tarot card reader. So there are different levels of psychics.
Yep.
You know, some are clairvoyant, some have clairaudience, some have, you know, just kinetic kind of telekinesis and things like that. The different levels, right?
Yeah.
Like Candi is a medium. So for me, the tarot cards are my tools. And it's 10% cards, 90% intuition. Sometimes I hear things, sometimes I feel things. Mainly I see them because I'm looking at the cards. But I have a lot of energy that comes to me. So there are moments where I've met people in events, in clubs, in bars, in things like that. And I won't need cards, I just read them. And they get so astonished by just me doing that. It's almost like at first it was a party trick, and then it turned into something that was really like a business, because I used to have people following me around in the clubs, you know, and kind of like following me, asking me like more and more, wanting to know more. And I'm like, dude, like, you're draining me. Because it's a lot.
I think that was me. I think that was me. I didn't need to go to the DJ to request a song. I just came to you and said, I'm requesting a life. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm requesting a reading. What do you know about my life, please?
But that's exactly what happened to us. Like, we didn't even connect like that. Literally, you were just pouring out some information to me, and it just was incredible the way you just knew everything about me. So within a second.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly
one of those
what
moments. And I think that's when it's meant to be, because from that moment, we all just connected. And not only did you give me a reading in the most unusual places, but you literally, like, we just became friends. And so I think that's what really shows a great psychic, because you've just been able to just tap into my energy as we literally walk past. But Candi, you've got something different. Tell us what you're feeling. How do you get these messages?
Well, it started at a young age, probably around like 8 years old, 10, when I started having dreams. And it just got more stronger as I got older. I started being able to connect with the spirit world and even loved ones that had passed on. And it's something that either I can feel it. Sometimes it will come to me naturally. I can just be sitting here like talking with you, and I could automatically get this like vision or a memory of maybe your loved one that wants to come in and kind of get a message to you. But yeah, that's mostly...
Hers is different because it comes out of nowhere, you know, where she can be sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and then all of a sudden she'll have this like stare, and I'm just like, are you okay? And then she'll just start telling me things, and I'll be like, whoa, like, where did that come from? Or how did you know that? So when I first met her, it was an instant connection. I mean, instantly, like, we locked eyes, and it was just beautiful butterflies and like rainbows from there. Oh. And I knew though immediately that she had a gift, and she didn't let anybody know. So this is actually the first time she's letting people know that she has this gift.
Oh,
yes,
you guys
love that. We
love that.
This is the
But
Well,
hang on a sec.
my family members know.
This
My
is her-
family members know.
Her coming out party.
That's brilliant. We're here. Do you know what I love about your relationship? Because you're all engaged, but I think about this and go, you two could not, you know exactly what's going on before it all happens, right? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Do you look at each other and go,
Yes.
yeah, right? So you can't get away with anything.
There should
Everybody
be
knows
no
what's going
lies
on.
between
It's
them.
like, I'm going to have an ice
Never.
cream in
Yeah.
the corner. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What's it actually
And there-
like being in a relationship where the other person is also psychic, but because you're both psychic at different levels, what's that like?
It's intense.
It's intense. It's very high energy. You know, I think being with Charlie, my gift has gotten definitely stronger because of the crystals around us, because of even the cards.
Yeah.
I noticed that it brings out the spiritual realm. It's more stronger. It's a more stronger connection, definitely. It's
I
really
love that.
intense.
All right.
So what you do, Charlie, because I've been watching you for such a long time, because we've nearly known you for 3 years now, and I watch you. So you get onto Facebook and you do a live, and then you go through all the zodiac signs and literally do one reading after another, so people can actually tap in to their own zodiac sign, and then people can ask questions during the live, and you're just giving out this information. You'll sometimes do this for 2-3 hours.
Yes. I don't allow people to ask questions just because of the fact is, if I allow one person to ask a question, then I feel like I have to allow everyone to ask a question. And that in itself is very draining. And I'm a Libra, so everything has to be balanced for me. And if it isn't balanced and if it isn't fair, then I don't do it, because I have to be fair to everyone. So I can't just answer one person's question about something that has to do with the cards and not feel obligated to answer everyone. They're just the same. It's the same with giving someone a free reading. I can't sit there and give you a free reading if I'm charging the other person. That to me isn't right. If I can't not charge, because if I don't charge, then I'm going to be completely drained and exhausted. So there has to be a balance. And a lot of people, I used to have people tell me, well, if you have this gift, you should give it to everybody for free. And it's like, no, because I still have bills to pay. Like,
You need to eat. You need to eat.
career for me.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit there and drain me of my energy, like, the least you can do is,
Give me an ice
give
cream.
me a little something. And I'm not asking for a lot.
Give you an ice
Just
cream.
give me a little bit.
No.
All right, so we're going to do some readings after the break. We're going to get you to go through and maybe come up with a little something for what you're feeling, maybe for us, and go through the zodiac signs. So I can't wait for that. Please stay tuned. We'll go to a break now. Thank you for listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is a SONYA and SACHA For Real show with Charlie and Candi. You're listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is a SONYA and SACHA For Real show. Welcome back to segment 2 with part 2 of our psychic and medium show today with Charlie and Candi from New York City. And you know what? Do you know what, Sasha? I've been fascinated by psychics and by mediums. My mum took me to my first psychic reading when I was 12 years old. I remember this. And so I've had such a long experience, and we've both had some really interesting experiences with psychics over the years. And, there's been some things that have happened that have completely been...
Well, they've completely changed our life. And so
Absolutely.
I am so excited because, Charlie, you're going to give us all, you're going to flip Sonia and I a bit of a card, and then you're going to give everybody else a reading. So can I give you permission to enter my field of energy?
Yes, please. I definitely. So a psychic tarot card reader that is very respectful always asks for permission, because the last thing you want to do is tap into someone's energy without their permission. And then, it can kind of come back to you. So I always ask for permission. So do I have your permission to tap into your energy?
Yes, you do,
So,
darling.
I was shuffling because you had already given me your permission from before. And the top card is the Devil card, which is actually Capricorn. Okay.
That's
Now
my
we have
favorite.
Blanche. these cards that I have are the Golden Girl cards. The Golden Girl. So you have Blanche on the top with a cheesecake. Okay, she's the Devil card, which is known for Capricorn. And then here we have the High Priestess that comes in. When the High Priestess comes in, it shows that you have some divinity within yourself, meaning that if you were to really tap into your own energy, you would probably be able to communicate with spirits as well, like Candi. You just have to unblock yourself. This is also a sign of a motherly figure that comes in that lets you know that she's with you at all times, okay? And then we have here the Page of Wands that comes in. When the Page of Wands comes in, it came in reverse. This means that you cannot travel at the moment, right? It's a travel card. So I think we know that, you know, in Australia, you guys are having somewhat of a difficulty going anywhere. But when it comes in reverse, it's stating that you can't, there's certain things and restrictions that you cannot do, but that doesn't mean it's going to be forever. This card can be flipped, meaning that you are going to travel a lot around the world. It's going to be something that's of a high caliber travel. Page of Wands comes in stating that you have a long journey ahead of you. So things are going to start to open up for you, and you're going to have the ability to go far distances. And then the King of Cups comes in. This means a lot of love coming your way. It shows it's the highest level of love. It's the Cancer card, and it shows that there's a lot of people out there that really, really love and care about you, okay? So now I'm going to go into Sonya, okay?
Sonya.
Thank you so much. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sonya, do I have your permission to take your energy?
Yes, you do.
Can I please have your name?
Sonya Karis.
Sonya Karis. Got it.
Sonya.
All right, let me do a little shuffle.
I just love the way they say Sonya. Sonya.
Oh, it's just me too. In the Brooklyn accent. So good.
Yeah,
But Candi, you're from the Bronx, aren't you? You're from the Bronx. Is that right, Candi?
Yes.
From the Bronx.
So just while you're shuffling, every week we're going to have somebody or something about New York, because we kind of refer to it as our second home. We've worked extensively over there, and we travel over there a few times a year before this crazy pandemic happened. So this is our Sonya and Sacha New York Minute segment. Here we go. Here's my cards. I think that means I've got the same card as Sacha. Are you serious right now?
Oh my God.
You got the same card, but this one came out towards the end. So we got a little bit of a warning here for you. But look, she got the same card on the bottom as well.
Oh my God.
Way.
Look at that. The Capricorn in reverse. Now, when you get a Capricorn upright, that means that you're balanced, that you're at your highest, right? When it comes in reverse, this means that you might be getting into a little depressive state. So be aware of that. Be careful with that, okay? The Hermit card is the top card. This means that you need to do a little soul searching for yourself, so that way you don't allow your energy to fall, okay? You want to make sure you're always at your best, okay? But then we have the Five of Wands in reverse here. This is almost like a rivalry or like a challenge, like someone, they want to challenge you. They're not saying it, but when a Five of Wands comes out, it's like a competition. It's almost like somebody doesn't like you, and it's all good. You know what? Because that's what we do to the haters. We shake them off, right? Mm-hmm. Because in this world, if people don't like you, that means that there's something that you're doing that is correct.
Yep. That
they are envious of that. So you got to always make sure that you keep your head up. Fuck everybody. I don't know if I can curse, but fuck everybody, and keep it moving, because the next card is the Lover's card. This means that you have a lot of love and abundance in your life, that people really, when the Lovers drops down, this is a sign of someone really caring about you and really wanting to make sure that you are at your highest and your greatest level, and at the best part ever. And there goes that, that pesky card that it's Sophia trying to get out of here. So you're trying to get out of Australia, and it's like, nope, you can't go anywhere just yet, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to. You guys are both going to really, really beautiful places. You're going to meet a bunch of wonderful people, and you guys are going to soar. Okay?
Oh, I love that reading. Isn't that amazing? Sept and Sasha, we have three of the
same
exact
cards.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Candy has something to say. Go ahead, baby.
I feel as though, you know, just have more patience. You know, I know this time.
I'm laughing because that is Sonya.
That's why the depression card came out, because I have zero patience, zero chill.
Yeah, I
need to get out of here.
That message. Something in my head just came into my head and just said she needs more patience.
Yeah.
I know this time at this moment you're kind of feeling like you know, stuck, and you're feeling as though like time is like of the essence, and you kind of want to just get out there and you want to get things going. But be patient. I do feel as though you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
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 Do you know what's gonna happen?
Definitely.
Do you know what's going to happen? On my gravestone, there will be Sonya has finally achieved patience. Now she's dead. That's what's going to That's what it's going to be.
You're going to have the hourglass. Like, these are the days
she's out.
of our lives.
Yeah.
She's out. All right, so let's get into these astrology signs. Who's up first? All right,
so we've got BRIMBANK Live FM. This is where Sonya and Sasha, for real, we have Charlie and Candi here. We are now going to give every single star sign, well, not we, I mean, as in us, I'm talking about Charlie and Candi, are now going to give every single star sign a reading about themselves. Go for it.
Who are we starting with, Charlie?
Okay, so I'm going to start with Aries. I'm just putting the cards down, so they're all going to go face down until I get to the signs. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's so crazy, Sasha, that we had three of the same cards.
It happens to us all the time. We have such identical lives. It's incredible.
Yeah, and you know why I'm depressed? Because I'm homeschooling. That's why I need to get the hell out of here. Let's go crazy. So accuracy.
All the signs, sorry about that. I'm sorry to cut you.
Oh, no, go. What do we got? Aries first.
The bottom card. So this is for all the signs. The bottom card is letting me know the overall energy for everyone. This means that a lot of people are very emotional, very high level of emotion when the King of Cups comes in reverse. The King of Cups, like I said, is a very high loving card. It's Cancer, so it's a big love. But when it's in reverse, it means that emotions are high. Everybody's very touchy. A lot of people are very annoyed. They get annoyed super quick. And it's just like you can't tell anybody anything because they start to flip out. A lot of the main reasons that it's happening is because of money. Money right now is something that everybody's worried about. So just calm down. Things are going to start to get better, and things are going to start to open up for everybody, especially out there. Because when I did this shuffle, this is mainly for the shuffle for you guys out there in Australia. Later on our show, we're going to do a reading for everyone. So right now, Aries comes in first. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. When the Ace of Wands comes in reverse, this is letting me know that you have got to start thinking clearly, Aries. If you keep thinking the same things over and over again, you will not get the same results. You're gonna get the same results if you keep thinking about the same shit. You have to change the way you're thinking. You have to make sure that this card comes in upright, because if not, you're going to keep repeating the same patterns. Okay, you want to open up that box that's in your head and allow new things to come in, so that way you can get new energy. Okay, Aries. The next sign that comes in is Tauro. Tauro has the Devil card. So when Capricorn comes in for Taurus.
So hang on, it's for Taurus, not for the non-Puerto Ricans here.
So when Capricorn comes in for Taurus, this means be careful with overindulging. Okay, you can see that things might look good right now. Everything looks good, especially if you're in quarantine, but you don't want to overindulge, because what's going to happen is you could potentially have a shock. Your health can start to kind of get really, really bad because you're overindulging on things that you shouldn't. That goes in for, anything that has to do with addictions. You could be addicted to food. You could be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to alcohol. If you're overindulging in that, It is not going to end well. Okay? Warning.
All right.
Warning for
Taurus.
Taurus. Next sign, Gemini. Gemini comes in
Hey,
with the
Eliza,
strength
our
card.
producer, is a Gemini.
Okay. The strength card, Eliza, comes in for you guys on the Gemini side. This means that you feel stronger than ever. You might have very good vibes that are coming in, or that if they haven't came in yet, they're going to start to come in. And when that good energy starts to roll in, just go with it. Don't allow anything to get in your way. Know that the strength is behind you. And if you do start feeling down or depressed, just always kind of keep in mind that you have the power to within yourself to switch. Because Geminis have those two personalities that everybody so loves to talk about. So whenever you feel depressed, change it, okay? Change it so that way you can just reach to the top of the limits that you have, which there shouldn't be any limits there, okay? Keep moving up to the sky, that's all. Gemini. Moving on, going into Cancer. Cancer, you guys have a warning as well. There's the emotional side and the negativity that comes in. When you are in your head, anything that has to do with swords has to do with mental energy, okay? When you are in your head and you are not allowing anyone in, because Cancers tend to go into this shell. When they don't feel like they're comfortable, they go into hiding kind of thing. This mental trap is like putting yourself in a mental jail. Find a hobby or something positive, because if you are just sitting there and you're not doing anything positive or productive, mentally it can cause a lot of depression and a lot of problems for you. So you need to clear your energy, okay? One way that you can clear your energy for water signs is to actually put your hands in water. I know that usually I would tell people to go to a body of water, try to go to the beach or try to go to a lake. I know it's difficult for you guys, but you can have water that comes through your house and you can submerge yourself in it. Put a bubble bath or do anything, especially when you get angry or you get depressed. Submerge yourselves in water and you will feel the energy coming through your body and you will see how quickly things will change. Okay, Cancer? The next sign that comes in is Leo. Leo with the 7 of Cups. When the 7 of Cups comes in, that means that you have a lot of choices that are coming into your life right now. Some choices may be very good looking to you, meaning that you might really like what people are saying, what people are showing you, what people are telling you. Don't just jump on the first offer. Think about whoever's offering you something, because there's different cups that are around. Some have snakes, some have masks of people that are not good, and then you have some things that are really good for you. What this card is saying is for you to take your time and not allow somebody to rush you into making any decisions. Figure out what you're doing before any of this gets into the way and could be your downfall. All right? That's for Leo. The next card is for Virgo. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Virgo, right now, it's your time to shine. This is your season. This is your month for your birthdays. Try not to be so argumentative with people. You know, when we have the 5 of Swords that comes in reverse, that 5 of Swords is basically saying to stop allowing people to get the better of you. Stop allowing them to get into your mental and just go with the flow of things. Keep on the positive and things will get better, okay? Are we good?
We're good.
Okay.
We're just looking at time.
Card.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. The next one is the 7 of Swords for Libra. This is a very sneaky card. This means to be careful with those people that are around you that do not have your best interest. If someone you feel is being sneaky, cut them off. Just walk away from them. And if you feel like you can't, then just leave. You know, just say, listen, I'll talk to you later. I gotta go. Okay? Libra, pay attention to that. That's very important. Going into Scorpio. Scorpio is the 3 of Wands. When the 3 of Wands comes in, this means to watch what is happening around you. Pay attention to the things that are happening around you, because you might miss something that could be really, really good for you, and that could come in when it comes to work, okay? So just pay attention to that, Scorpio. The next card is for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have the Six of Cups that comes in. This Six of Cups means that someone from your past is going to come into your life again. The person's going to have good intentions for you, so allow them to come into your life. Let them speak their piece. And if you like what they say, then, you know, you can be their friend again if you want. This is someone that you stopped talking to. So pay attention to that. It means that they're coming in with good intentions, okay? The next card that we have is for Capricorn.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The Empress card comes in. When the Empress comes in for Capricorn, it means regal, royal, the queen of all queens. So Capricorns, you need to start looking up and realizing where you belong. It's time to stop being negative, okay? I always end up smacking Capricorns because you guys are one of the most stubborn signs, and you need to see and realize your worth and where you belong, okay? Because you guys have the Midas touch. You tend to always take something that's crap and turn it into gold. Remember that. Don't let anybody treat you fucked up or any kind of way. I'm sorry, I don't think I could curse, but whatever. And just keep your head up at all times. I'm from Brooklyn. What do you expect? Okay.
Ralph, our technical guy, is having like a conniption in the background.
So we got 2 signs left. The next sign is Aquarius. Aquarius, the Two of Cups comes in. This means that there's somebody that might be tickling your fancy right now. Just go with the flow and enjoy it. If in the future something happens, it could be really, really positive. If you have a wonderful person that's making you happy, just go with the flow of it. Allow it to be, even if it's for the moment. Embrace that moment and allow the love to come your way. And last but not least, we have Pisces. Woo! You're fishy, 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 fishy. So when Pisces comes in, Pisces right now is the Six of Swords. This means that Pisces wants to leave, okay? Just as bad as Capricorn wants to leave. Pisces wants to leave. They
Get in the boat with us.
To get that dinghy that you were talking about, that they must have all been Pisces, because look, this is them.
That's great.
Okay, so when this card comes in, this means you really want to leave a situation. Mentally, you've already checked out. So if you feel like you're mentally not there, then you know what? It's time to just kind of go with it and just say, I need my space, allow me my space. If you do not open your mouth and you don't know how to communicate with someone, that's where the problems lie. Take it out of your head, because it's all swords. Swords is all mental energy. Get it out of your mind, speak it into existence, and let the person know exactly how you're feeling. So that way you don't have to sit there and cry all day, Pisces. Okay?
Oh my God.
And that's
Charlie.
your Charming Awakening reading, your astrology reading.
Charlie, thank you so much. Katie, thank you so much. We're so
Not
excited.
go away yet, because I just don't want to let go of you guys, because it's been so fantastic, and you have just been so giving. This is BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. Sonia and Sasha, for real. Please don't go away for our last segment. I knew that we couldn't let you go for the last bit, because you've got some readings that you want to give away to some of our listeners. So we want to announce those right after here. Thank you so much.
No
You're
problem.
very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Sonia and Sasha, for real.
BRIMBANK Live, Live FM.
Thank you so much for coming back and listening to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. You're on the Sonia and Sasha for Real show. We just had readings live on air from King Charming, Charlie and Candi, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. And I feel better. I feel really good. Like I got my little quick reading of the cards. Sasha and I had 3 cards that were the same, which is just so us. But you know,
I think that goes to show that a lot of people will want to know, are we really, really friends outside of what we do on radio? And that is 100%. Like we are, you know, we're friends all the time. We talk all the time. We travel all the time. We hang out all the time. Our kids hang out. So it's not just like what we're doing here. There's actually so much more, the layers of what the levels, you know, you're talking about the levels. There's the levels of what we are and what we do together. And, you know, I feel like sometimes I'm a little puppy dog. Sometimes, like, you know, Sonia and I will be traveling for 2 weeks together. And then on the last day, I'm like standing next to her going, I don't want to go away from you. I've been hanging out with you 24 hours a day and it's still not enough. All right. Thank you so much, Charlie and Candi, for what you guys have done for us and the information. You're absolutely right. Sometimes when you do get a reading, it really does open you up and start to see possibilities. And just when you just say something small, like, you know, you've got the strength to be able to get through this, it really does give you the ability to reflect on who you are, to be able to go, yeah, you're right. And, you know, Sonia and I battle with that bloody worthiness word out of control. Like, it's just like, am I worthy? Am I worthy? And then when you said that, that's our word, Sonia. That is our word. Like, we're constantly going, are we worthy? Are we good enough all the time? So you were 100% spot on with that as well.
I had to smack you guys.
Yeah, exactly right.
We are both Capricorns.
Well, we
so
kind of liked it.
Smack the
We kind of liked it. So can we just, we kind of liked it. So can we please say, we've got some readings. You want to give away some readings to our listeners. And not only will we probably do it today, we're going to probably keep going and giving away readings because you have just been so incredibly generous. But with this show, we're going to announce right now 3 listeners that have been incredible with our social media because we're about valuing our listeners and giving back to them. So they're going to get a reading from you. So we've got Marianne Gazior, Matthew Moffat, and Vanessa Borrachino. They're going to be contacting you. They have won a reading right now and they'll be able to contact you and get a reading from you in private.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that generous stuff. But we also want to tell you what's been going on over here in Australia. Yesterday, we had a really special day called Are You OK Day? And that's where, do you have that in America?
I think we do, but I've never really heard of it.
I'm pretty sure we do.
I'm pretty sure, but you know, we're not really, I mean, I really don't even go on social media like that. I tend to just drop things because I have so many people that send me messages. And so I really don't go on things like that. Also, it kind of drains your energy, but I'm pretty sure we do. Right?
Yeah. Well, this was a really special day, and this was about us making sure that not only do we check in with ourselves to make sure that we're okay, but we also check in with other people. So, you know, that is where you contact someone and say, hey, are you okay? How are you doing? But the next level from that is not just to check in with them and say, hey, are you okay? It's actually to listen. So when someone says, how you going? You go, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But to actually go, no, how are you? And give them that space to be able to listen to them and give them the freedom to be able to speak how they're feeling. So I think
That's beautiful.
it's a really important thing. But I guess one of the things that we're also passionate about is not only making sure that are you checking in with somebody else, but are you actually checking in with yourself? Because you know, we're our own best friend and, you know, we're dealing with this thing, right? So, you know, how are we doing? Like, are we feeling like we're on purpose in the life that we're living? Do we feel like that we're contributing to society? Are we getting enough sleep? Are we getting enough exercise? How are we feeling within ourselves? Are we mindful enough? So, you know, are we even meditating and even, you know, for us, we can't spend time with friends, but are we able to check in with our own friends? And so it's not just about making sure somebody comes in and checks in with you. How do you contact somebody else and go, hey, I really actually need to talk to someone, or reaching out and getting therapy? I mean, it's all over the place. I'm in therapy and I've been in therapy my whole life. Like, I think I was born and I just went, I need a therapist. Do you know what I mean? So
that's where I come in.
Every Friday at 5:30.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and not to be embarrassed and not have it feel like there's a stigma that you can't actually, you know, reach out to someone and talk to them about that. We're about to go. How can people find you? Because you are about to do a Facebook Live with this is much more intense than what you've done in our show. How can people find you guys right now?
Well, you can look us up on Facebook. Charming Awakening is our business page. Also, we do have Instagram. You can find Charlie at King Charming. Also, you can find me dolled_up_Candi. Candi with an I, not a Y.
Dandy
C-A-N-D-I.
And mine is King Charming 718. And if you go on to charmingawakening.com on Facebook, like Candi said, we are going to do a live. It's going to be longer. It's going to be more detailed. And every sign gets a chance. You know, we usually do 2 segments. And they're probably like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. The whole show is usually like almost like 3 hours long. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We can't believe that we've collected such a beautiful array of friends over there, and we're so proud to bring you to Australia and show off our amazing people over there to all of our listeners and all of our people in Australia. So please follow Charming Awakening on Facebook and on Instagram and Dolled Up Candi. And next week we're going to have another guest who's actually local, who'll give us a bit of an understanding about what her journey was like in New York, but she's all about food.
She's from
a previous master chef. And if you want to OK Day, just Google Are You OK Day. Has some amazing tips on how you can check in with yourself and somebody else and make sure that everyone's feeling okay and accessing support. And we will see you next week for another show of the Sonya and Sasha For Real. We're going to have some new music for you, and we can't wait to see you next week. So enjoy, everybody. Have a beautiful week. We love you from BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. You've been listening to the Sonya and Sasha For Real show. Bye.
Bye.
Sonya and Sasha, for real.